You're looking pretty beautiful over there, Rob.
I don't feel it.
Beard looks majestic.
No, it looks like shit. I gotta trim it up. My eyes are puffy from allergies.
All right, you can shut up now.
Welcome to the Sleazy Podcast, the podcast about anything and everything, but mostly TV and movies. And now it's time to get sleazy.
All right. So, I have prepared a statement that I'm going to read before we get things started.
Okay.
I have this thing where I get older, but I just never, but just never wiser. Midnights become my afternoons. When my depression works the graveyard shift, all of the people I've ghosted stand there in the room. I should not be left to my own devices. They come with prices and vices. I end up in crisis. Tale as old as time. I wake up screaming from dreaming. One day, I'll watch as you're leaving. 'Cause you got tired of my scheming. For the last time. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. At tea time, everybody agrees. I'll stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror. It must be exhausting, always rooting for the anti-hero. Sometimes I feel like everybody is a sexy baby, and I'm the monster on the hill. Too big to hang out, slowly lurching toward your favorite city. That's page 1. Pierced through the heart, but never killed. Did you hear my covert narcissism? I disguise as altruism. Like some kind of congressman, tale as old as time. I wake up screaming from dreaming. One day, I'll watch as you're leaving. And life will lose all its meaning. For the last time. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. At tea time, everybody agrees. I'll stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror. It must be exhausting, always rooting for the anti-hero. I have this dream. My daughter-in-law kills me for the money. She thinks I left them in the will. The family gathers round and reads it. Then someone screams it out. She's laughing up at us from hell. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. It's me. Hi. Everybody agrees. Everybody agrees. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. You can applaud now.
Lucky for him that he can only see himself when he looks in the mirror. Unfortunately, we have to look at him all the time.
I know. Now, I didn't draft that up. That's all Taylor Swift.
We're going to come over here one day to podcast. He's not going to be here. We're just going to find like page 3 of that note laying down here.
Yeah. Apparently he was the problem.
Look at that. I had to print it all big so I could make sure I could read it. All right, this is episode 156 of the Sleazy Podcast. I'm your host, Sleazy. Tonight, I'm joined by Mr. PBS.
Howdy.
The one and only Pitbull, Robzilla.
Hello.
It's so nice to have you back.
I'm back.
Dude, this motherfucker. Let me tell you.
This motherfucker here.
The last week, the last time we recorded.
I hope, like, many years from now, If Robzilla dies before you do, obviously
that's a high good probability.
Obviously, you'll be giving the eulogy, and I hope that's how you start out. This motherfucker right here.
I'll do it. If somebody lets me.
His excuse for not coming this time is he fucking died. I don't want to hear it.
What a piece of crap.
What a piece of shit.
Rob was a man of not so many great talents. But one of his talents was aggressively getting out of doing things.
Frankly, this is the most aggressive move yet.
He had to go up and fucking die.
Unfortunately, Taylor Swift was wrong. It's Rob. He's the problem.
Not me.
Not me. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like Tuesday. Hey, I'm not going to make it on Friday. It's Tracy's birthday.
Yep.
See you later.
Peace.
Yep. And,
Well, we had J-Bone, so you're okay.
Yeah, and by the way, let's get this straight. Papa Flynn, J-Bone, John, whatever we're going to call him from now on, I'm leaning more towards Papa Flynn.
Okay.
It sounds cooler for some reason, doesn't it?
Yeah. Sounds like a mafia.
Yeah, but he's not your get-out-of-jail-free card. You're starting to use that.
Just because he's got some Friday nights free now.
Well, can you just have John or Jason show up?
I was just helping you guys out. That's
No.
all it is.
This show has been built. The foundation has been built around PBS, you, me, Hot Sauce, which, by the way, Hot Sauce, I don't know if he's coming back. He's got a job now.
That's
J-O-B.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Today was Hot Sauce's first day on a job. I guess he's working at some pizza shop.
He's like, I'm out. I got to go to work. I was like, what?
Yeah, and we find this out yesterday, which he probably just found out.
Yeah.
Well, I completely forgot about the pizza place, so.
You did. And it's because you suck.
I know. That's what it is.
Hopefully we'll get him back to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not like we haven't moved our recording nights before to accommodate everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, we found our way on Fridays to accommodate Mr. PBS, and because we used to record on Thursdays.
Yeah.
And somehow it ended up on Fridays.
And sometimes Saturdays.
Sometimes Sundays, depending on if there was an emergency that happened, and we had an issue beforehand, but I figured it out. We were able to get the camera and the mic working on StreamYard.
Right.
Assholes. But
Slacking.
yeah, so man, I have been on a fucking tear, just going through show after show after show after show. I finished, dude, listen to this. I finished Outer Banks season 3. I finished The Night Agent. I finished Beef. I finished Mandalorian. I finished Picard. I've been on a tear. And I don't know how I've done it because I've been so goddamn busy.
You've done it?
Yeah. I
Sounds
feel
like you've been busy, right?
Yeah. Well, and, I've been like,
coaching too.
Huh?
Been coaching too.
Yeah. Well, just the past 2 Thursdays. But that's another adventure on its own.
Yeah.
But yeah, I last Saturday last Friday and Saturday I got into a groove. Well, no, Saturday and Sunday mainly. But yeah, man, I started watching that Beef and I got fucking I was like, this is good. Mm-hmm. But we'll save that for the end because we've got 2 segments here of shows that we're going to talk about. And I'm really thinking about, man, I was over at Papa Flynn's house the other week and he made me watch the first episode of, what's the Mankind show on Apple TV, For All Mankind?
For All Mankind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's got our boy in it. Yo, Linda, I need a ride.
Oh, Joel Kinnaman?
Joel Kinnaman. Yeah, dude. But it's good. It's like, what if the Russians went to the moon first? And I'm like, just the first episode was good. When you just watch something,
it's going to be good.
This is a good quality show with good fucking actors in it and a good production. But I'm really thinking about doing it and just all of us sharing it.
Yeah.
And maybe, we'll take turns. Just give me a $5 or buy me dinner 1 month or something, Not that dinner is $7.99 anymore, but.
Oh, it is for the 4 for $4 at Wendy's.
Yeah. Bring me something.
I don't think they got the 4 for $4 anymore.
Really? thought they do.
I saw.
They have that biggie bag or something like that. The $5 one.
Bag.
Moving up.
No more folk for yo.
Not for your ass.
We can't do that when we're paying people $12 an hour.
Yeah.
$10.50 an hour, whatever the fuck they make.
Yeah.
It's funny. We were driving by McDonald's, and they were like, now hiring managers for $14.50 an hour. Who the fuck wants to do that?
Not
You
me.
get some real quality candidates that way.
Right, dude. I don't know who would go in there and do that. Like
this is 2023. I'm pretty confident everybody's seeing TikTok and seeing all the fucking videos of people being assaulted at fast food restaurants.
At least when you dig ditches, they pay you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I just don't get it. And you probably work just as hard at McDonald's.
Yeah.
As much as people want to talk shit about fast food workers, they work their ass off.
They do.
And but I can see why they have a bad attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, I go to this Chipotle down the street every week. I get the same couple people in the drive-through window. They don't say one fucking word to you. They open the window and they stare at you until you say your name, and then they like pretty much throw the bag at you when they have it made. And you're like, God damn, these motherfuckers that act like they're like. I'm sure there are people that work in prison cafeterias that are more cheerful than that. I mean, seriously.
You're probably pretty cheerful when you didn't get raped in the shower today. Like, oh, yep,
Right?
made it through this one.
And like that is that like the epitome of food, working in the food industry?
Mm.
Like it's 10 times worse than being in the cafeteria of a prison.
Yeah.
And dealing with all the shit talkers that come in and try to get their food,
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel for these people, but at the same time, I've worked a shitty job before, and I always tried to make it as fun as I could just to get through the fucking day. Yeah. I mean, you have to. Am I right, Mr.
Yeah.
PBS?
Oh, yeah.
You got to have like a minimum level.
Yeah. I mean, there's days where you're in bad moods, but I've never like treated somebody like really, really bad like that.
Right.
If they've cut a joke with me, it kind of lightened me up a little bit, but man, these people, I feel for them. They're just hurting. Probably overworked and
Definitely underpaid.
Yeah, definitely underpaid, and they're probably struggling to make ends meet, and they just, they come to a realization, like, what's the fucking point?
You just got to pull yourself up by your fucking bootstraps.
By the bootstrap.
We're a family.
Fucked.
We're a family.
Yeah.
Well, if it wasn't for that Biden, you'd have a good life. It's never the guys that are like taking exuberant amount of money.
You know why my pay is so low? Abortions. That's why.
Yeah. These motherfuckers, they keep going in and getting abortions and getting sick, causing more money for the government.
Hey, we may not get that raise, but we'll get that pizza party.
Sure, you've seen all those memes where the CEO is like, guys, we had a record quarter this year. We're doing great. Oh, well, how about a little bit of raise? There's no money.
There's no money for that.
Mm-mm. No money.
Don't ask for your bonus.
Don't know where it went.
Worry about how we're going to get better. Not the bonus.
Record quarter.
Yeah,
we don't know where it went.
Did you see that lady?
That bitch.
CEO.
I once had a boss that said,
Pity City.
You can
Pity
go
City.
You can go to Pity City, but you can't stay in Pity City.
Wanna
so
bet?
Instead of complaining about where's your bonus, where's your money, go out there and get the $26 million so I can get my bonus.
I got my bonus.
Yeah, bitch. You got your $6 million bonus. I don't fucking hear it.
How much was the office chair you sent us in our chat?
Well, the lady, I forget what the total company is called, but at least part of it is Herman Miller. And when I saw that, I always hear ads for like the Herman Miller Aeron chair.
Right.
So they sell furniture and chairs. And there was an office chair, kind of like this one I'm sitting in. It was around $1,500.
It's an ergonomic chair.
Yeah, with a nice neck and all that stuff.
Yeah.
For $1,500.
Curvature for your back and all that.
Definitely not this. I don't know.
Dude, what a fucking piece of shit. Like anybody that makes $1 million up, they just live in a different world. They have no hurt for anything.
Mm-mm.
And I'm sure a lot of these people that were affected by the bonuses were, mid-level to entry-level people, and they count on that as part of their salary, even though you should never do that. But
when you have it consistently, and all of a sudden, well, you're just not going to get bonus.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. And I mean, everybody at most places, I don't know if they're hurting, because it seems like these corporations have it down to a fine science. Like they get their profit even if the prices go up. Like it's all factored in. I mean, they have it down, and they're making their money. And it's funny, like what are they calling it? Greed inflation now?
Yeah,
Profit inflation.
Profit inflation. I mean, it is a real part of this stuff. I mean, 30% or something like that in some cases. But that should never be that large. I mean, that right there is a big problem. But
if you're raising prices just to keep your bonus on top of your exorbitant salary, I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean,
especially if you're a person in a position of power in the company. Like if the company's not doing well, then you shouldn't be getting any bonuses.
You should be the first person that takes stuff away to help pay for other things.
Just start at the top.
Yeah.
If the company's got a bad quarter, your pay is the first to get docked because that's literally your job as like a CEO. Yeah. Your job is to make that money, and if you ain't making money, then you ain't making money either.
Right. And somehow it's just
instead of your guaranteed parachutes and all that.
It's like that TikTok from that Netflix show. Oh, what is it? I didn't do shit.
I don't even know what that's from. I just know the guy.
It's from
I thought it was that show on Comedy Central.
It's on Netflix. Yeah. But it's a funny fucking show. It's skit comedy.
Are you sure about that?
You sure about that? I didn't do shit.
I didn't do a fucking shit.
That's exactly how all these.
Where he's in the banana costume.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out who did this.
It's a banana mobile or something like that.
Do you know how to drive? No, I don't actually.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Touches the steering wheel. Ah!
Man, what is that?
That's the thing. I never even knew about that show.
Producer, get on it.
I know.
Because I thought it was that him and another guy did that show on Comedy Central. I forget what it was called.
All right.
So
I'm Googling what show is the TikTok from I didn't do shit from.
All right here. I think you should leave with Tim Robinson.
Yes, you found it before me. Good job. Yeah, it's Netflix.
I tell you, are you sure about that guy? Meme and it popped it up. Yeah.
Yeah, a great show. It's funny as fuck.
I just thought it was just a meme.
It's funny as fuck, dude. I think I should make you guys watch an episode of it before you leave tonight.
Okay.
But, that being said, I think we're getting off we're done preaching here. CEOs are pieces of shit.
Going off the tracks here.
They're fucking criminals, and somehow it's legal for them to do what they're doing. Making obscene amounts of money. But we're going to move on. So if you were a CEO, would you make obscene amounts of money?
And I would give it to my employees, and they would be happy.
If I'd be like, I didn't do shit. I'm just collecting a paycheck for what they say I'm getting paid for.
Yeah,
I'd sign one of those deals like you're going to make $5 million a year, and like 12 months in one day. Like, all right, I'm retiring. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know why these people keep working. I would literally see an amount of money, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm fucking done.
Yeah,
I'm fucking done. I'm going back, chilling.
I would just get a certain amount and invest it when I got enough. I'm like, okay.
I think it goes back to that greed problem we have here in America. Like some people never have enough money, and I get that.
Greed and status.
Yeah. Status is a big thing.
Fuck your status.
And there's a whole CEO class, like that.
I mean, we have a status of being world renowned. So,
and we're beloved. That's all that matters.
What's that?
And we're beloved. That's all that matters.
We are beloved. Which, by the way, so I get done yesterday. I'm coaching my buddy's, Papa Flynn's son's team with him, baseball team, 12 and up. And we get done playing, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see an old softball friend, and he comes up, we're talking, whatnot, greeting and all that. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Long time no see. And he's like, dude, I fucking love the show. I listen to it all the time when I'm out on my sales calls because I'm just driving. He goes, I go between you and Joe Rogan. So
we've made it.
Listen, we're in the rotation.
Just got to get that Joe Rogan money.
I know, right? We're in the rotation with Joe Rogan, and that is just phenomenal. I was so happy to hear that because, sometimes you get down on yourself and you're like, do I have it? I mean, what's going on here? Why can't I get more people to listen? I'm like, I didn't do shit. Are you sure?
You sure about that?
Are you sure about that? Do you think you deserve more listeners? Are you sure about that? But, yeah, so, Bobby, thank you for approaching me and telling me you love the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Bobby.
It's always nice to hear somebody loving the show. And I was like, listen, dude, you don't have to bullshit me. I was like, you can tell me if it sucks, and you don't have to listen out of pity. And he was like, no, dude, I really fucking love the show. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Thank
Nice
you for
to know
going
you're
to
not
Pity
just
City for
screaming into the void.
Yeah.
And then I went and bought myself some Dairy Queen. As you know, I was like,
street.
somebody enjoyed the show. I deserve Dairy Queen.
It's
Now.
worth a McFlurry.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
No, I didn't buy. I didn't buy
ice cream
it.
machine would be down if they had a McFlurry.
I didn't. I take that back. I didn't get Dairy Queen this time. I got a Frosty from Wendy's.
There you go.
So delicious.
Because Dairy Queen, every white person is obsessed with Dairy Queen when the sun's out,
Right.
and like they have a line all day long until it gets dark.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that. I just
Ain't
can't be
got time
waiting.
for it.
Like the line will be out in the fucking street to turn into Dairy Queen. Like who waits in a line like that? Like
Just like O'Charlie's, how it's busy on a Friday night, man.
oh, I
It's
know.
fucking- that's a white.
And
people's
O'Charlie's is not all that anymore.
restaurant. Nah, it's really not.
The place is fucking terrible anymore. It seems like every once in a while you'll get it good if you get there at like the right time when they're not really busy, and they got time to like cook you fresh shit or whatever. Something just seems odd. It's not as good as it used to be.
Less servers, and it's just
The quality of the chicken seems bad now. I don't know.
fucked up the chicken.
But they still have better chicken fingers than a lot of people. I'll say that.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, so our first segment tonight is we're going to take a return to crazy news with Mr. PBS. Oh, wrong.
It
Wrong
could be,
sound.
could be all of them.
It's been forever since I've hit that crazy news button.
I love it. I love that sound.
So, which article are you going to read first?
Gosh, I don't know. What do you want to read here?
Just go. So I've got it. You see where I've got the comment first, and then I've got them all underneath the first one.
Okay.
So just read them in order, I guess. And we'll present this. I'm going to share.
Starting with our Texas woman. Start with Texas woman here.
Window. Okay.
National news. Texas woman found missing for nearly 2 days, found alive in Jeep submerged underwater.
How do you fucking survive for 2 days like that?
Air pocket.
Yeah.
I guess so.
A fisherman found the Jeep submerged about 40 feet away from a boat ramp. The missing woman was spotted as the Jeep was getting ready to be pulled from the water. A missing Texas woman was found alive inside a vehicle that was submerged underwater, according to the Marion County Sheriff's Office. The woman had been missing since Wednesday, April 5th. She was found 2 days later when a fisherman noticed a black Jeep submerged about 40 feet away from a boat ramp, deputies said.
Holy shit.
In pictures released by authorities, the only visible part of the Jeep was part of its roof. As the Jeep was getting ready to be pulled from the water, deputies noticed someone inside was moving. They later found out it was the missing woman. She was taken to a nearby hospital in unknown condition.
That's crazy, dude. Short article, too.
Yeah, good for her.
Oh, man. Let's turn that on. All right. So moving along, we're going to NPR now, right?
I always wonder, like, how do you break that? Like when you're stuck in an enclosed space like that, and you got to go to the bathroom. Like I imagine, like the first one's the hardest.
Yeah.
Like when you got to figure out the corner you're going to pee and whatever you got to do in.
I think after a while, you're just like, fuck it, just go.
Yeah, at that point.
Or does your body, like your shock response, just kind of keep you from doing it?
That could be,
in case you need all your nutrients and fluids.
Yeah.
Do you think she had like a straw hanging out of the window for a little bit, like air?
Probably.
You got to wonder how, like, I don't know, you just don't decide to bust the window or something. I know it's hard because you got the pressure.
After a while, you have
water.
to be breathing, your carbon monoxide, right?
Right. Well, I mean, and cars aren't airtight, watertight, so
Right.
water would be getting in somehow.
Yeah.
So I think it's usually you got to get out of the vehicle. It's going underwater.
Because they always tell you if you find yourself in that, you got to find something to break the glass with.
Right. That's why they make all those little tools and whatever.
Yeah, glass breakers and all that.
Rob probably has one that he carries around all the time. You still got your tactical pen?
Yeah.
So you can fucking get out of the car.
Just bust open that baton.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a baton on my door.
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking hit it. Like, wham. I'd be the guy that couldn't break the window. Have you ever seen that?
Fuck, yeah.
It'd just be like bouncing. I'd probably go to hit it, and it would bounce off and hit me in the head and knock me out.
Yeah, and then you just drown.
Yeah, and then I would be the guy that would hit the window, knock myself out, and then I'd fall over and drown in the puddle on the floorboard. And they'd find me like the poor bastard never had a chance.
Sounds like something that happened to me, most likely than anything. That's how I feel.
No, I feel like you would get lucky and get out of there. You would be the woman that just got found alive.
Rob's the guy who gets thrown out of his car and like perfectly fine.
Yeah,
he gets up and walks to the hospital.
Oh, I better go to the hospital and get checked out real quick.
I just flew out of my car.
Don't know how it happened.
Here I am.
Somebody was looking out for me.
I had a guardian angel.
All right. Well, so we moving on to NPR now.
Yep. I feel like we got to throw like a trigger warning or a content warning on this because I think this one's kind of dark. We try to keep crazy news kind of lighthearted in a way. You know, woman survives being caught in a Jeep.
I mean, dude, if it's crazy, right?
Or like shootouts in Florida where nobody really dies.
Just two hillbillies shooting at each other.
We don't like to share those Robzilla stories about Meemaw getting eaten by an alligator in Florida.
I'm sorry. That is very heartbreaking.
So
he does share some dark shit sometimes.
So I found this one and just thought it is crazy. So the headline here
Cheers,
is,
buddy.
What to know about the Lori Vallow Daybell, crazy name, zombie multiple murder trial.
Jesus Christ.
The murder trial is finally underway for Lori Vallow Daybell, 49, the mother of 3 whose religious beliefs about zombies and the end of the world are cited as partial motives for the alleged murders of 2 of her children and her husband's previous wife. Opening... That's kind of what got me. I'm like, wow. Opening arguments in the case, or opening arguments of the trial in Boise, Idaho began on Monday. If convicted, Vallow Daybell could face life in prison. She and her husband, Chad Daybell, 54, were indicted nearly 2 years ago. They're now being tried separately. Here's a brief recap of the history and the case against her.
Okay, pause real quick. If anybody has any connections to Netflix, we need this as a murder doc already.
It is.
Is it really?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Where's it at?
It's on Netflix.
On Netflix?
Yep,
Really?
it's on the article here.
Okay. Let's keep going then.
I feel like maybe we've talked about this before briefly. So,
we probably have, and I just don't remember it.
But it's in the article here. Vallow Daybell and Chad Daybell were indicted in May 2021 on 9 criminal charges, including murder and or conspiracy charges and 3 deaths. Vallow Daybell is accused of killing her 2 youngest children, Tylee Ryan and Joshua Jackson J.J. Vallow. Tylee was nearly 17 when she and J.J. 7 were last seen alive in September 2019. The children's bodies were found in June 2020, buried on property in Rexburg, Idaho, owned by Chad Daybell. Even before the remains were found, Vallow Daybell was charged with felony desertion of a child as well as obstruction. She is also accused of conspiring to murder Tammy Daybell, Chad's then-wife, who was found dead in her home in October of 2019, less than 1 month before he and Vallow got married in Hawaii. He is Vallow's 5th husband.
Woo!
Right. Multiple husbands, ex-wife or current wife actually murders. In a separate case in Arizona, Vallow was also indicted on a conspiracy murder charges for allegedly arranging for her brother, Alex Cox, to shoot and kill her 4th husband, Charles Vallow, in July of 2019. Alex Cox died in December of 2019 of what was determined to be natural causes.
Right.
Yeah. Prosecutors say Vallow Daybell and Daybell, that's a very odd way to put it, were focused on the, quote, end times and doomsday scenarios and that they shared beliefs about people manifesting dark energy.
Oh, shit.
The indictment cites text messages between the pair regarding death percentages for Tammy, as well as messages about her being in limbo and Tammy being possessed by a spirit named Viola.
Oh, Jesus.
On Monday, Fremont County prosecutor Lindsay Blake told jurors that Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow portrayed themselves as religious figures called James and Elena. Blake said Valo Daybell purported to be able to rate people, detecting whether they might be under the thrall of an evil spirit's dark energy. What do you think? Robzilla rates their dark energy?
I think they had a scale too, like from light to dark was also the scale that they had.
Is it like that?
On a 1 to 10.
1 to 10. They're like, it's a 7. They're
Is it like the old Family Guy skit where he pulls out the shake and sees the color?
yeah.
They're pretty dark. Kill them.
The defendant used casting that involved prayer and energy work. Blake told the jury on Monday, according to East Idaho News. Often this casting didn't work. No kidding. And the beliefs evolved to zombies.
Oh,
the common
geez.
theme was the body had to be destroyed. In 2020, Rexburg's police detective Ron Ball said in an affidavit that Valo Daybell's close friend Melanie Gibb described hearing her say that Tylee had become a zombie, a concept Valo Daybell had picked up from Chad Daybell. Gibb heard Valo Daybell called Tylee a zombie after Tylee had refused to babysit JJ. To which Tylee replied, "Not me, Mom." According to the affidavit, Gibb said Valo Daybell later concluded that JJ had also become a zombie. Daybell and Valo Daybell told Gibb that they were part of the Church of the Firstborn and had a special mission directed by the Book of Revelation, Gibb told the detective.
These crazy fucking religious people, man.
Exactly. It's what it is.
They also stated their mission was to rid the world of zombies. In their eyes, zombies are controlled by dark spirits, and the host body can only be released through physical death. Gibb was present with Lori Vallow when Chad Daybell first instructed Lori about his theories of zombies over the phone in early 2019. Months later, Charles Vallow was killed.
This is some wild shit.
I told you that was. I almost didn't want to share it. I almost didn't want to share it because obviously death of kids and all that. But
right.
As I was reading it, it's just so insane.
It's severely fucked up, but it's just so fucking crazy that people are this stupid.
Like, do you think they believe this? Or are they making it up?
And anybody can buy a gun. Just remember this: anybody can buy a gun. People that believe people that are walking around that are zombies can buy a gun.
It's amazing. Zombie had to shoot him.
It's amazing they just didn't kill other people out on the streets. That pissed them off.
Let's add another layer here. Prosecutors accused Valo Daybell and Daybell of benefiting from the 3 deaths by funneling money towards themselves in the form of federal benefits and an insurance payout. Their goal, Blake said, was to create a new life together. Charges against Valo Daybell include grand theft with the U.S. government as the victim after she received Social Security funds intended for the care of Tylee Ryan and J.J. Vallow and did not report Tylee's death.
Oh.
The defendant used money, power, and sex to get what she wanted, Blake said in court, according to the Associated Press. It didn't matter what it was. Prosecutors say that in the month before his wife died unexpectedly, Chad Daybell signed paperwork to boost her life insurance to the maximum allowed under the policy. Valo Daybell's son Colby Ryan and other relatives told their side of the story about her and Chad Daybell last fall when Sins of Our Mother, a true crime series, premiered on Netflix in September. The series is directed by Sky Borgman. There's also a book about the case, When the Moon Turns to Blood, by Portland, Oregon-based journalist Leah Sotha, who says Lori Vallow went from being a suburban mom in yoga pants to someone caught up in an extreme subculture. I have found in my own reporting that Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell really existed at the fringes, the far-right fringes of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and that they kind of were able to meet because of the ecosystem of extremism that exists there. So there you go. Was it Book of Revelation zombies? Was it money?
I mean,
I think you have to be actually mentally ill to kill your kids or whatever.
Yeah,
that's just not.
That's where you draw the line. That's where it's like
even if your kid pisses you off, they're still your kid. Yeah, but it sounds like it's a little mixture of them being crazy and just diabolical at the same time. Just trying to have an extraordinary lifestyle almost,
right?
But what the fuck, man? They believe people were zombies. Was it the one kid said they didn't want to watch the other kids?
Right.
So they're a zombie.
The dark energy has you.
Yeah. She's a fucking demon.
Next time Robzilla doesn't come, he's a zombie now.
Yeah. You're possessed by Lori or whatever they thought it was.
You need an exorcism, boy.
Yeah.
Like I said, I started reading it. I almost didn't want to share it after I started reading. Like, that's just nuts. It's just like you got to ask yourself, like, do they believe this? And it sounds like maybe they do, or was it just more about money?
It's just even
but like how do you kill your kids just for some money?
Yeah,
not even a lot of money, I'm sure, but just Social Security money.
Yeah, I mean, Social Security money and insurance can't be that. I mean, most people have enough insurance to kind of bury somebody and take care of loose ends, but.
I mean, you hear more with like spouses. Well, they have $1 million, insurance policy on their spouse.
Yeah, to take care of the spouse when they pass away.
Yeah, you hear more of that, but not for kids. That's what I mostly hear of, anyways.
Man, what a fucking crazy story, though.
Yeah.
Now I gotta watch that documentary this weekend.
Crazy
now.
bitch.
Was it The Sins of Our Mother?
Sins of Our Mother. Yeah.
The Sins of Our Mother. Netflix, everybody.
Came out in September.
Want to see some crazy people that believe in zombies?
I've heard I think there's books and writing out there now about sort of the health culture to like crazy people pipeline.
Yeah.
They said that about the yoga pants there. So maybe she wasn't like a health nut or whatever, but they seem to go down a lot of conspiracy roads lately.
Yeah.
So I know there's there's literature out there about it.
They say that super religious people are more inclined to believe in conspiracy theories, which, I mean, I love conspiracy theories. I've said it on here a million times. I fucking love conspiracy theories. Do I believe them all? No. Do I think some of them are probably true or some part of them are true? Sure. I mean, I think you do the 90-10 rule, 90% of them are fake, maybe 10% are real.
But even the ones maybe you think are possible or even plausible haven't caused you to like change your whole life.
No, I mean, there's nothing that. Listen, man, if something happens, something happens.
Yeah,
it's nothing I can. A lot of that shit would be out of my hands. Like, say aliens are kidnapping people, so what? As long as I'm back in my bed the next day, I don't care.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna stay awake every night thinking something's taking me or something like that. You know what I mean? Or
make sure when the aliens come, they take the pieces of shit here.
Or the government doing this and that. Like, so what? The government can watch me and listen to me anytime they want. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah. It's not like you have trade secrets you're just giving out random people. You know what I mean?
Some of these people, they prepare for the end of the world. And it's just like, listen, the world really ends. It'll end before you have time to think about it.
Remember Zombieland? He's like, man, I love rednecks.
Yeah.
Always prepared.
There was
they really
joke,
are.
Yeah.
There was a joke in something I read recently where like two survivalists are talking and one's like a doomsday prepper guy and he's telling the other guy everything. Like, oh yeah, I'm getting all this set up and I'm getting that set up and I got my shelter. The other guy's like, yeah, that's good to know. glad you're getting all that ready for me.
Yeah.
Just make it to Jim's house before he can get down in his cellar.
Yeah.
And lock him out of his
Jim
shit.
ain't gonna get down there one way or the other.
I'm sorry, what was that passcode again?
Yeah.
I was watching, I think it's like a show on Netflix, like Doomsday Preppers or something.
Yeah, me and Tracy watched that. It's
dude, these people have full blown like decorated bathrooms down in their shit. And it's crazy.
This one woman, she's like, oh, I love to eat. So she had like anything to make gourmet meals and everything.
Yeah.
But it's just like, but they don't really have any new episodes more recently, those more older ones, but it's interesting. People are fucking crazy, but it's interesting.
Yeah, it really is. Do we have any more crazy news, Mr. PBS?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
81-year-old?
Yep. This one is from Hot Sauce, I believe. We're back to Florida man.
Of course.
Local news. 81-year-old Florida man accused in nationwide fraud scheme fell for romance scam, please say. Bobby Crosby faces charges of scheming to defraud.
This one might hit Robzilla a little close to home. Look at this guy, man.
Port Orange, Florida. An 81-year-old Port Orange man was booked Thursday after investigators said he played a role in facilitating a nationwide series of scams dating back to 2021. The Port Orange Police Department stated it's received reports from other law enforcement agencies over the past couple of years involving victims of scams in Massachusetts, California, and Michigan. According to an affidavit, the scams involved the victims sending money or gift cards through the mail or payment sites such as Venmo after scammers persuaded victims by pretending to be a family member or falsely telling victims they owed money. You guys ever get those calls like, you have a pending court case, or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Please call us back in 24 hours.
I always get like I get messages sometimes from guys in like India, and they're like, "You not pay taxes, and if you do not call us back, I call police." And I'm like, no one that's ever calling you to tell you that they're going to call the police will tell you they're calling the police on you.
Send them over, buddy.
Yeah.
I get like the debt collection agency. We've taken over on the blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I don't own any debt.
Have you seen the lady on TikTok that like talks to these people and she records them?
I've seen
various
people.
quite a few.
She's like,
yeah.
so I need to go to the store and I need to get you $100 Target gift card. But what if I get you a Burger King gift card? And the guys get so pissed they start screaming at her. They're like, fucking go get the card.
Are you that fucking stupid?
Yeah.
You just fucking with me? Oh, they get so pissed.
No, listen to me.
Yeah.
Don't put it on your account. Send it to me.
Yeah. She's like, so you want me to send this to you again? They get so pissed off.
I know the girl you're talking about, but I've seen a few other ones who do that.
Yeah. It's so great. I love when people fuck with them.
And they get so pissed.
They're scumbags.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. They're just trying to make a living over there, but they know what they're fucking doing.
I've seen ones where like the hackers, they hack in and they actually see like the video recording. Like, oh, well, hey, what's up, Julian, or whatever. They start freaking out and panicking. He's like, oh, wait, the cops are on the way too. It's a raid.
Yeah, I've seen that. And then they run around and they're pulling everything out of the...
Yeah, cops are coming.
I get one every now and again, like, we've locked your Apple account. Like, I don't have an Apple account.
Yeah.
I get the ones that's like, please call us. You have... what do they call it when you've stopped paying on something, and they turn it over to creditors?
The fraud on payment, or is it something like that?
Something like that. But it's always like you are in the red on your student loans, and I'm like, I don't have any. Delete.
Well, I like when they send like one. It's like, oh, your bank. I'm like, yeah, that's not even my fucking bank. It's just like it's not even a proper like phone number.
I don't have a policy with you. Just leave me alone.
I still wonder how people kind of fall for those scams, because even a lot of places anymore say, like, we will not call you. We will send you a letter or this or that. You know. Police said that in April 2021, law enforcement in these areas were able to track shipments to the home of Bobby Crosby, now 81, who lived in Port Orange with his wife. When police confronted Crosby, he admitted to receiving victims' money and other items through the mail for about a year, though he said he didn't know who was putting together the scams, the affidavit shows. However, Crosby said he was receiving the money on behalf of a woman whom he met through Facebook Messenger the year prior, police said. Detectives explained that Crosby deposited most of the money he received into his local bank account, and he typically withdrew the money to forward to Bitcoin accounts provided by the Facebook Messenger contact. According to police, Crosby asked police several times for the address of one of the victims so that he could return their money, though police were unable to provide him with the information due to the investigation. At this time, Crosby was not arrested, court records show. Police returned Crosby home the next month for another discussion, and he told them he'd received tens of thousands of dollars in cash, checks, money order, gift cards, electronics, furniture, and toys over the past year, the records say. While he forwarded much of the money, he was allowed to keep a modest fee, police said. Following the discussion, Crosby later contacted police to say he found out he'd been receiving the money from an unknown female who was defrauding victims in different parts of the U.S., investigators said. According to Crosby, he usually spoke with the person on social media prior to being sent money, during which time he was told how to send those shipments to her, police said. Crosby also explained that he had been told he was helping process government funds, but the person later closed her social media accounts, police said. Police said Crosby had planned to keep the money for himself if the female didn't contact him again, but upon learning about the fraud investigation, he wanted to return the money to its rightful owner. I'm sure he did. Police said that most of the money received by Crosby had already been forwarded, though they were able to receive $11,000 from Crosby to return to one of the victims. A police report from April 22nd, April 2022, nearly a year later, shows that Crosby had likely been scammed himself by online Bitcoin investors who pushed him to send them roughly $280,000 over the course of the 2 years prior.
Jesus Christ! Like, who has this kind of money to just
throw around for Bitcoin?
Old dudes living in Florida.
These old people that just made money back in the day. I mean, fuck.
In September 2022, police in Texas contacted Port Orange police over another fraud case, this time with a victim sending $6,700 in cash to Crosby's home after being falsely told she would win a big prize, police said. Police interviewed Crosby again at his home in October 22. learning that his wife had died and that he was now forced to put his house up for sale due in part to financial troubles. He told police that he had no nearby family and had to take care of himself, officers added. Crosby admitted to receiving victims' packages, though he again stated that he didn't know who was conducting the scams, police said. The affidavit shows Crosby was continuing to forward the money he received to someone else via Bitcoin transactions, just as he had done the year prior. According to Crosby, he had found someone on a dating website who was responsible for sending these funds over, police said. The account had told him they received an inheritance and wanted to move in with Crosby, police said.
Oh, Jesus.
Text messages between the account and Crosby show he was forwarding thousands of dollars he received in the mail from fraud victims. This is the text messages. Honey, okay, honey, please probably... Okay, honey, please probably you might get a package by Tuesday from FedEx, and I want you to help me send it as soon as you get it. Okay, my love? Crosby, how much? Account, $5,500. Crosby, can you get some through and share with me? I am desperate. Account, it's not mine, honey, but am working on something very soon for both of us. Crosby, I have about $200 left in my bill paying account, and I've got multiple bills that I have not paid yet, one of them for $800. Crosby, well, you see my income now. I get $1,647 a month Social Security, and then every 6 months I get about $400 to $500 every 6 months, and then have another source I'm in partnerships with someone, and they're supposed to be paying me $3,000 a year for my interest in this business, so that's it. And I have a little bit of pocket money, but very little. I think probably $30 or $40. I was just letting you know right up front what I'm facing. Crosby, okay, I'll get back with you. Account, okay, babe. Account, you said you need about $200 to pay some of your bills. Crosby, I said that I had $200 left in my bank account, and I needed $2,000 or $3,000 to pay some bills. Account, that a lot.
That a lot.
Crosby, yes, it is. Other conversations show that Crosby had continued to forward money to the account as his financial condition became increasingly worse. Crosby then returned a cashier's check to police for $15,000 that he had received in the mail from a fraud victim. In the months that followed, investigators found that the people to whom Crosby forwarded money were based out of Nigeria. Court records reveal.
There's goddamn Nigerian princes.
The Nigerian prince. The investigators said Crosby had transferred more than $634,000 between June 16, 2020 and December 17, 2022. According to the affidavit, a warrant was later issued for Crosby's arrest. He was booked Thursday, faces a charge of organized scheme to defraud, and is held on $50,000 bond. And we know he ain't got enough money to pay for that.
Yeah, but he ain't got no money for that.
I kind of feel sorry for that guy. I mean,
that's the question. Is he just a pawn, or did he know what he was into?
Dude, I don't think they know. I don't think these people know.
They kind of go for more of elderly people who really don't understand, and you know what I mean.
It's sad, dude. It really is sad. These old people, they get scammed.
Yeah.
And they're so lonely, they'll do anything thinking that somebody is going to reciprocate some love to them for it, you know, like.
He was doing that even when his wife was still alive, so.
Yeah.
Well, you know, his wife probably didn't love him. She probably talked down to him, called him fat.
Maybe she was ill.
Yeah.
It's going to turn around where he actually probably killed her.
This guy probably thought he was going to get laid or something, you know, doing this. But at some point, you still, I don't know, do you lose like the common sense factor when you age and you're just like,
I got to think if people are randomly sending you money and somebody's like, yeah, just forward that on to me. Like, I'm part of a scam here. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, something's got to click, but I don't know. I mean, I've heard of people that just are so lonely they send money, you know, thinking that those people are going to show up one day and that they think they're legitimately helping somebody. But man, my dude, he got played. He got played like a mofo.
I don't mind, you know, like, you know, you shared that video this week or last week about a dude asking for help fill in his 1 gallon gas can.
Yeah.
And people were like, fuck off, and pulling knives on him and stuff.
Had a gun pulled on him. Well, no, not a gun, but yeah, knife, yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Even if it's a scam, like, I'm one of those people, like, I'd rather give somebody just a couple bucks to get some gas.
Yeah.
In the thinking that probably needs it, that person needs it, rather than I might be giving it to somebody who doesn't.
I've totally given somebody $5 at the pump before.
Yeah.
And, but, you know, it's weird. Nowadays, they're getting like, you say, like, oh, man, I don't have any cash on me. They're like, well, you can put your card in for me. Like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Please go away.
Like I don't mind trying to help people, but like I wouldn't be going whatever he was $200,000 in debt or something. Just
right. I'm not I need money to survive. Like I'm not giving you everything that I've worked for that is supposed to last me till I die.
I'm happy to throw a couple bucks your way.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you need a 20 to get some McDonald's and a couple dollars for gas, sure. But I'm not giving you my life savings, bitch. Fuck off.
When I was downtown for jury duty, like I was walking by, the guy's like, "Hey, I need $20." He was like yelling it out. I was like, "Whoa,
these people!"
I was like, "Man, that fucking inflation, bro."
Listen, these people that do that, they know that they can get money eventually for hounding people. So there's no reason for them to go out and It's like the people that panhandle.
Yeah,
they make more panhandling than they would at a regular 9-to-5 job. So why would you work it? Yeah. You can get that money.
And there's people who are professional. They're like, you got to make sure you look like you're down your luck, but not too much. Like you're trying, you're working hard to get back to it.
And they have the dog to seal it all. So you feel bad.
Need dog food.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want that dog to eat.
You don't care about the person. Like
you
better be taking care of that dog.
Yeah. You give him a sandwich. Oh, is that for me? No, it's for your dog, dude.
I still remember like being at a holiday parade with my mom and one of her coworkers and her kids. And they bought this homeless guy a hot dog.
Yeah.
And he opened it up and he was like, "I don't like this shit." And he threw it away. It was like, what the fuck, man? Like, that's maybe your only meal. Pick off what you don't like and eat it.
I'm down on my luck, but not that down on my luck.
Yeah. Well, I was with my mom one time. We were, I think, going to Max and Irma's, and this guy was like hounding us. She's like, "If I give you the money, what are you going to do it for?" And he said something. She's like, "Don't fucking lie to me. You're going to go drink, are you?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to go drink." "Okay, well, here, just get the fuck out of my face."
Hey, it's like our boy Backpack from back in the day. Is he still alive? Is he still roaming the grounds of Great Southern?
That might be a person who should be inducted by
Great Southern. They clear out Great Southern fairly regularly anymore because they're getting tired of it.
Oh, they round up all the homeless.
Yeah,
crew?
they've gone back there a couple times. Maybe every 6 months or a year.
I just imagine like people going back there with blow torches and blowing everything out.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here!
Get out of here!
Get out of here, you homeless scumbag!
Didn't we see Backpack somewhere, or maybe Jason said he saw him somewhere?
No, Gaylord sent me a picture.
Maybe that's what it was.
And he was somewhere like he was at the Rib Fest.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
He was down there. I was like, yeah, that's Backpack. He's still alive, huh? But yeah, dude, that dude, he used to just he had. I heard at one point he had money, enough money to pay for an apartment and live, a decent life. But he just loved fucking doing drugs and drinking and sleeping outside.
Yeah. Fucking rock and roller, man.
Yeah, dude, he loved it. What are you gonna? So what were you saying? What was I gonna get to the point? So Backpack is no more at the stores,
right?
So man, that's crazy because that was like an everyday thing.
Yep.
Sound like they were like rounding them up like cattle. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I just imagine. Do you think they bring in the horses and they chase them down, like the ape style?
They fucking rope them and shit and drag them.
I don't know if they do that anymore.
Go get.
I got some of that Sunny D vodka spritzers in there if you want them, or whatever the fuck they're called.
I can't drink vodka.
Why not?
Because I break out and I look like I get fucked up.
Oh, that sucks.
It's every time I drink vodka.
It's okay. I mean, it's not the best thing in the world, but it's worth trying. I want to see it. Can we just, while we have the camera rolling, can we just?
No.
Why not?
We want to see your allergic reaction, Rob.
Do you have an EpiPen or anything?
No.
What?
Because I don't go around drinking vodka all the fucking time like it's water.
What happens if you have some spaghetti sauce with vodka in it?
I don't have vodka sauce.
But what happens if you do on accident?
I don't know. I think maybe it wouldn't be much.
I think this is like your cat allergy.
What if you go to the spaghetti warehouse and it's all around you?
I don't go to spaghetti warehouse.
Did you see they're moving their location to downtown? I'm like, that's the whole point of. Yeah. That's the only reason you go to the spaghetti warehouse is to see all the old shit in that building.
Right.
Yeah.
And like the food is absolutely garbage. It's not good at all.
Subpar.
I went there a couple years ago after reading Rambo, and I went to that Marvel exhibit at COSI.
Yeah.
I got some chicken Alfredo, and it tasted like a Weight Watchers microwavable.
Oh, no.
It was so awful. Like, the only thing that was worth anything of value there to me was the breadsticks. And I mean, it's like, how do you fuck up bread? You can't, right? You just bake it and it's
Trust
good.
me, you probably can.
Yeah, you can, but
If you're messing up the breadsticks or the bread rolls, whatever, you know.
right.
That's
but
where I've had it.
they're so fucking awful. And I mean, are they gonna? I gotta imagine they got to take some of the stuff that's in there to their new place, or it's just not gonna be worth it.
That was the whole point of that place, was the atmosphere.
Yeah. No more.
Yep.
So we have one more crazy news article.
Oh, one or two more. Let's go with, I found this one while we were out.
Oh yeah, college student.
College student who killed a man with sword sentenced twice to 55 years in prison. From NPR WSU News here.
So, do you think before he killed these people, he was like, "There can only be one. There can only be one."
It's got to be an overweight white guy.
I bet he fucking cosplayed.
It is an overweight white guy. What do you know about that?
Now, here I read this, and this part of this story happens in the Northeast. So while I'm reading this, I want you to imagine like this is a Stephen King story, because this is what it sounds like to me. I got halfway through reading it. I'm like, this is a Stephen King story. A Connecticut court issued a second 55-year prison sentence to a man who attacked two people with a samurai sword, killing one and severely injuring the other. It's the second sentence, and identical in length, for Peter Manfredonia, 26, who also fatally shot a man and kidnapped his girlfriend before leading police on a 6-day manhunt across several states in 2020. Manfredonia was a senior studying finance and mechanical engineering at the University of Connecticut when, quote, he just flipped, according to his arrest warrant, and fatally struck 62-year-old Theodore DeMyers with a sword on May 22, 2020, outside the man's home in Wilmington, Connecticut. Manfredonia then attacked the man who came to Demir's rescue, John Franco, who was 80 years old at the time, leaving him with severe injuries to his neck, his hands, neck, and head. Manfredonia broke into a nearby home and took a third man hostage for 24 hours. A day later, he drove across the state to Derby and fatally shot a former classmate and kidnapped the classmate's girlfriend. He let her go, physically unharmed, at a rest stop in New Jersey. After a 6-day search, police arrested Manfredonia at a truck stop in Hagerstown, Maryland, without incident. On Wednesday, the defendant was sentenced to 55 years in prison for the second killing and the kidnapping. On Thursday, he was sentenced to an additional 55 years in prison for the sword attacks, court documents show. Between the two cases, he pleaded guilty to 5 counts of murder, assault, kidnapping, and home invasion. Both of his sentences will run concurrently, and he agreed not to seek early release as part of his plea bargains, the Associated Press reports. The victims and their families in both cases agreed to the plea bargain after months of discussion, according to reporting from Connecticut Public Radio. This week's sentencing hearing came with several days of emotional testimony from victims and eyewitnesses. Cindy Demers, the widow of the man killed by samurai sword, told the court she believed her husband's killer deserved the death penalty, even though Connecticut outlawed capital punishment in 2016. It was like being in a war zone, she said. All I could focus on was reassuring Ted that he was going to be okay and he would put his body back together.
Oh, my God.
We will get through this. We had gotten through so much together up until this point. He was still alive when he was taken away, but he never came home, she added. My husband's life was stolen from him viciously. Life as I knew it was stolen from me. My world as I knew it came to an end. State Attorney Matthew Gdansky said that Manfredonia was in Demir's neighborhood because he planned to kill his ex-girlfriend who lived nearby, the AP reported. Michael Dolan, the defendant's lawyer, said his client has bipolar disease and anxiety and was actually planning to commit suicide in front of the woman as part of a psychotic episode. Witnesses said Demers thought Manfredonia had crashed his motorcycle and was offering to help when he was attacked, according to several media accounts of the trial. Manfredonia apologized twice in court this week, directing separate comments to each of the victims and to their families.
Wow. That's a lot to unpack.
I feel like this should have already been a movie at this point.
We really need to invest in mental health, like across the world. I mean, it's just got to be there, you know?
Especially here.
Yeah.
Especially here. There's just too much shit going on.
Well, especially the past couple articles, you can tell mental health is a major issue.
People go crazy and they just start fucking killing people, man.
It's just like the dude wants to die. I'm like, can we just go ahead and just give him the death penalty? I mean, he wants to kill himself so fucking bad, so might as well just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, like, why do we even waste our... Let's just shoot him.
Yeah. Well, it's not fair. I don't fucking care. Hang that fat fuck. I don't care. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Get out of here.
You know, it's like, what do we do to animals that viciously attack people and maul them?
We put them down with no question.
We put them down with no question. There is no rehabilitation.
No. And the same
I mean,
thing
sometimes people do, but I mean, when dogs attack people, I mean, they put them down. I mean, but I mean, what? It's just.
I don't know. I've never, like, I get if you got your own kind of death wish, I get it, I guess. But like to hurt other people. Like if he was planning to go to his girlfriend's house and ex-girlfriend's house and kill himself. I mean, that's one thing, but then to start killing other people. It's just
he was like, fuck it. There can only be one.
Yeah. What the fuck are you, Connor McLeod from the Clan McLeod?
A 60-year-old man and an 80-year-old man. Like,
yeah, it's not like he's not going after these young fucking bucks now. He's getting old people, too.
The fact that he had a samurai sword.
Yeah. Well, some of his fucking back while he's riding his motorcycle, he said he thought he crashed his motorcycle. So was he just carrying that motherfucker on his back?
I don't know, man. It's a bizarre story.
God damn. It reminds me of a Stephen King novel.
All right, so we got one last crazy news.
One last one here,
dude, this was like the whole fucking show, man.
It's just so much crazy. I'm like, wow.
And you did your part getting these.
I found some nutty ones, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think this one's, I think nobody dies in this one.
I think.
A woman gets 21 years for trying to kill her doppelganger with poisoned cheesecake. The word doppelganger in there really got me like, oh, I got to know about this.
Yeah. Let's read that one real quick.
A Russian woman living in New York City was sentenced to 21 years in jail for poisoning her similar-looking friend with sedative-laced cheesecake, then stealing her identification and other valuables. A jury convicted Victoria Nazarova, 47, of attempted murder, assault, and other charges in February. Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz announced her sentence this week, nearly 7 years after the made-for-TV incident. A ruthless and calculating con artist is going to prison for a long time for trying to murder her way to personal profit and gain, Katz said in a statement. Thankfully, the victim survived the attack on her life, and we were able to deliver justice to her. The New York Post reports that the judge delivered Nazarova's sentence, called her an extremely dangerous woman with a diabolical scheme, and that she cursed at him as she left the courtroom. Nazarova's lawyer, Jose Nieves, told NPR in an email that he had filed an appeal against the verdict and sentencing, which will focus on legal procedural errors and evidentiary issue that occurred during her trial. The defense believes that Judge Holder's sentence was excessive and inappropriate given Ms. Nazarova's life circumstances, her mental illness history, family support, and her traumatic experiences while living in the United States. Yeah, we've all got traumatic experiences.
Right,
in the United States. Nazarova is a Russian national and will likely be deported after her release from prison.
Well, you know she's going to the front lines in Ukraine.
Prosecutors argued that Nazarova had poisoned her friend in order to steal her identity so that she wouldn't have to return to Russia, where she is wanted for a 2014 murder.
This just sounds like one of those early 90s.
Sounds like a made-for-TV movie?
Yeah.
Is that on Lifetime?
Right. It sounds like a Lifetime movie, yeah.
It does.
Nazarova brought cheesecake over to beautician Olga. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name. Tsvyk.
Zvik.
Olga
Home
Svick.
on August 28, 2016. The two were close in age and appearance at the time, the district attorney's office notes. Both had dark hair, same complexion, and other similar physical traits, it added. Additionally, they were both Russian-speaking. The other woman had a Ukrainian passport, according to the BBC and NBC News. Nazarova ate 2 pieces of cheesecake and offered the third slice, the BBC reported. She felt sick after eating the cheesecake and went to lie down. She was violently vomiting, floating in and out of consciousness, and terrified there was something seriously wrong with her, Assistant DA told him. So the last thing she remembered before passing out was seeing Nazarova walking around her room. The next day, a friend told her, discovered her unconscious in bed with pills scattered around her body, as if she had attempted to kill herself. Prosecutors said she was taken to a hospital for treatment. Upon returning home, she realized that her passport and employment authorization card were missing, as were a gold ring and other unspecified valuables. Federal law enforcement agents tested cheesecake residue in the empty dessert container, as well as the pills found on the floor. Both came back for phenazepam.
Come on, Mr. Nurse.
which prosecutors describe as a highly potent sedative. It is available for prescription in Russia, but not controlled in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
She laced a slice of cheesecake with a deadly drug so she could steal her unsuspecting victim's most valuable possession, her identity.
That's crazy because she ate, she said 3?
Yeah, 2 pieces and
2 pieces.
There was a third one. So she probably just laced the third piece.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those scenes in the movie like where you're trying to remember which cup you poisoned.
When I heard that, I was thinking of the Princess Diaries.
The Princess Bride?
Or Princess Bride. Sorry, not Princess Diaries. Princess Bride. Inconceivable. Jesus.
Last bit here. Interpol had a red notice out for Nazarova. This wasn't her first brush with the law or with poison, authorities say. She's accused of killing her friend, Alla Alexenko, and stealing her life savings in Russia in 2014. The following year, Interpol issued a red notice for her arrest for murder, and in other words, a request to law enforcement worldwide to locate and provisionally arrest a person pending their extradition or surrender. Private investigator Herman Weisberg told CBS News that once in New York, Nazarova began working as an escort or dominatrix who would sedate her clients and then rob them of their jewelry and other possessions.
Now, this sounds like a good fucking movie, man.
One of them, Ruben Borukov, testified at Nazarova's trial that she drugged him during a date, after which he woke up with $2,600 in unknown charges on his credit card and a missing watch. Nazarova was arrested in March 2017 on charges including attempted murder and grand larceny. The following year, speaking to CBS News from Rikers Island, Nazarova said Russian police were framing her for the 2014 murder. I am not a killer, she said. I'm a woman. Only woman.
I'm woman. Only woman.
Is that your pronouns, ma'am?
I am woman.
Do you think this is like some like John Wick thing? Like
Yeah,
you got all these Russians and these charges and things going in. This is like some political thriller John Wick stuff.
It sounds something crazy is going on there.
Like a Tom Clancy book.
She was like, have some of this cheesecake.
It's very good for you.
It's good.
It's good for you.
It is good.
You think that's what Robzilla thinks every time you try to get him some food? Like, here, Rob, finish this for me. Or have this.
Would you have cheesecake again after that? I don't think I could ever have cheesecake
have some,
again.
like PTSD.
Yeah.
You see cheesecake and you start like shaking, like, oh fuck, I gotta
Start
get out of here.
Yeah, shaking, cold sweats and shit.
Get me the fuck out of here now.
You think she's got like an asshole friend? Like we'd be like, hey, you want to go to the Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah, that lady will not be ever
Fuck you.
enjoying a dinner at the Cheesecake Factory.
She is making her own meals forever from now on.
Right. It's the Cheesecake Factory.
Like, I brought you some food. I don't fucking want it.
She sets it on fire with a fucking
It's
torch.
cheesecake. It is good. I am woman.
I am woman.
Only
I give
woman.
You cheesecake you eat, okay?
Only woman.
It's, pretty messed up.
I am woman. I'm going to be saying that for the next 2 weeks now. I am woman. Only woman.
You roar, right? You only woman, you roar, right?
Me and my girlfriend watched the Iron Sheik documentary that came on AEW or A&E recently.
Oh, man, I would love to watch that.
It's pretty good, but
He's fucking crazy, dude.
he's they were showing like some of his old promos. So he goes like, Iran number one. So me and her are just going around the house saying Iran number one. And like we're gonna be saying that out in public someday. Actually, like Iran number one.
They had like sound clips they would play on the Howard Stern show for years.
He was in some heavy drug addiction there for a long time.
Yeah.
That's not surprising with that, yeah.
They had like a phone call or something that he did. He's like, fuck you. Fuck you, Randy Savage. You bitch.
No baby oil.
Oh, there is Hulk Hogan's a bitch.
He talks mad shit about everybody. Like,
Yeah.
he fucking hates everybody, dude.
He was a real deal wrestler.
Yeah. Okay, so crazy news is finally over after a fucking hour.
Thank goodness. That was
A pure joy and
Fucking hour of crazy news.
and realizing there's a lot of mental health issues in the world.
I think if anything, they could just play that first hour at a congressional hearing, and they could probably drum some kind of money up for mental health after that.
Your Honor, what do they say? Like, I request to enter the record of the Sleazy Podcast without objection.
Do you think somebody would get up and be like, now listen, this is America. If you want to be crazy, you can be crazy and kill people.
Oh, I know who that would be.
If you want to use a samurai sword and just kill a motherfucker on the side of the road, have at it.
While driving to your ex-girlfriend's.
And then kidnapping her And then if you want to kill yourself in front of her, that's perfectly fine.
It's a free country.
It's a free country. You have the right to do that.
You do you.
You do you.
You do you, sir.
Okay.
I often wonder, like, how does anybody leave the house anymore?
It's getting
Yeah.
getting
Like, you know, you see
Hey, you
people.
guys want to go out? Fuck no, I want to go out.
You
Have
shared,
read the
you shared with us the TikTok of like the woman yelling at the other woman at the gas station. Like, I wouldn't want to mess with anybody. And like somebody's out public, fuck you. Like, yeah, buddy, fuck me. Have a nice day.
It's just insane, dude.
Like who wants to get into any kind of argument anymore?
Like, let me just go home, okay?
You know, you see people like doing pranks in public. Like, bro, you're gonna get shot. You're just gonna get shot. Don't do that to people.
There's been people on YouTube who've been shot because they're fucking around.
Man, what was that video that Rob sent us? I gotta find that real quick.
This is the best thing in the world.
That shit was. I was in like tears watching that.
I was too when I first saw it.
Didn't we? Is that what you're talking about? Where the guy got shot or whatever? It was. I think it was in the group chat sometime this week. Like a guy who did pranks.
He did pranks and then like someone like ended up shooting him. It was like
and,
like one
and
of those.
even his dad was kind of like, yeah, he kind of deserved it. He was
Yeah.
messing with people. We told him not to.
Dude, these memes that people are making of Arnold Schwarzenegger from Total Recall. What
Yeah.
the fuck did I do now?
Get your fucking hands off me!
What the fuck did I do?
What did I do? I didn't do anything.
What the fuck? It's like when you get kicked out of heaven for like the memes you posted. What the fuck?
Oh, those carton arc ones are
Big old
hilarious.
spider.
too.
You got to go over there on the floor.
Is there really?
Yeah, right there.
Go stomp on it.
I'm not a spider stomper.
Rob, stomp on it. Kill it.
Jesus fucking Christ!
How big is it?
I mean, it's
Fucking tarantula.
I mean, it's not that big, but it's definitely.
Look at it.
Take a picture. Just kill it, dude.
Motherfucker might lift me up in juice.
No, just stomp on him.
It's gonna John Wick me.
It's a wolf spider, I bet.
Wolf spiders are good for you.
Well, not when they're in my territory. I'm looking. I don't. Oh, here we go. I found it. Are you going to kill that thing?
Oh yeah. I want to watch this first. So.
Hold on. I got to see if I can't get this. How do I get this?
Enlarge, enhance.
Yeah, I want it to be full screen.
Motherfucker's gonna pull a fucking gun on me. You ain't stomping on shit, bitch.
Oh, it's a reel, so I don't think it's going to go full screen. But we can still play it. I mean, hopefully.
As long as they got
Robzilla's
audio.
been sharing a lot of reels lately. I don't know
Yeah.
what's up with that.
Yeah,
I just come across them and I just think they're funny.
Okay, so
Oh,
how do we get the? Okay, I have the sound turned off on Facebook, so it won't play. But anyways, it's this. It's a picture from a movie, and this nun picks up a phone, and then she holds a gun to it, and she shoots the gun into the phone, and it shoots the person on the other line. Bam!
I think this is from some TV show that was on one of the streaming platforms or whatever.
You gonna kill that spider, Rob?
Yeah.
Kill it real quick. And we'll just vacuum it up later when we get done recording. Where'd it go?
Jesus Christ. Look at it.
Oh yeah, that is a big guy. That's a wolf spider.
That's a big fucker.
Oh, right.
It dodged Rob. We should have been recording that.
Motherfucker juked me.
Kind of wish he.
It did juke you, dude.
I wish he made it after that.
So you ain't get me, bitch.
Fucking juked me, bro.
He did. He juked you out of your shoes.
Robzilla had to do some tap dancing there.
I wish I would have fell and then it would attack me. That'd be fucking funny.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
That'd be like arachnophobia. Fuck!
It's on me.
That's hilarious,
Be
dude.
like Home Alone. What are you doing, Marv? Marv.
Yeah, I forgot. I have the sound muted for my Facebook tab, so because so many people message me, we'd be recording and you'd hear doop doop.
I can only imagine when your phone goes off. Doot, 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 doot.
Yeah, it's it doesn't bother me a whole lot, but when I'm trying to do something, I'm like, God damn it. And I know, like I send a lot of messages myself too, mainly TikToks. It's the gift that keeps on giving. But
Don't you dare take away my TikTok.
I know, fuck that. They better never take it away.
No.
All right, so like I said earlier, I watched a bunch of shows, man, but we're only going to talk about Night Agent first. And for those of you that don't know what Night Agent is, it's on Netflix. Let's see here. It is starring Gabriel Basso as Peter Sutherland. I hope I'm not butchering his last name. Is it Basso or Basso?
I'm just seeing here maybe the proper way to say it here. Basso? Gabriel Basso, I believe it's pronounced.
Okay. Who else is in this?
There's really nobody famous in this that I know of.
This Lucianne Buchanan was the other chick that starred opposite.
Rose.
Yeah, Rose Larkin.
Rose, yep.
But basically, so the show is about a low-level FBI agent named Peter Sutherland.
Junior.
Yeah, Junior. Let's get that straight. Junior. He works in the basement of the White House, and he sits in a fucking small-ass office with no windows. And I don't even think he has a laptop, right?
I don't even think this. Well, I think he might bring it with him, but it's basically he has like some documents and
old-ass line phone. And he mans the phone that never rings, but it rings this one night. And the girl, Rose, she happens to be staying with, she's like a failed cybersecurity entrepreneur, and she ends up staying with her aunt and uncle. And in the middle of the night, some bad guys come in, and, her aunt and uncle tell her to get lost. But before they tell her to get lost, they're like, call this number and tell them this, this, and this.
Yeah, tell them this code.
And she runs to the neighbor's house, calls the number where she encounters Peter Sutherland Jr. And from there, you've got a huge political thriller, action political thriller. We'll say that. Very action-packed. And, I mean, dude, I was entertained by it. It was solid.
Yeah.
It was a really solid series from start to finish. And, I mean, there might have only been like one episode where I was kind of disinterested.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it kept me entertained. I mean, it wasn't like 24 good, but it was still good.
I mean, if you're interested in those kind of movies or shows like, Jack Ryan or
if you're
Reacher.
If you're a Tom Clancy fan and like you said, Reacher or any of those, it's right up your alley. You're going to love it. I mean, it is a good show. And it's kind of funny. Like, I felt like he was too much of a Boy Scout. But I mean, that's the character he played.
Yeah.
But
I felt like there was a couple of times he would have been smoked. It wasn't for Rose.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
He got extremely lucky in a couple episodes. But once again, one of those shows I started and I was like, oh man, I got to watch another episode.
Yeah.
Got to watch another episode. Then before I know it, it's like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah. And those are about like 45 minutes a piece.
Yeah. They're
episodes.
Yeah. I mean, your typical normal episode range.
But
But
I hope you enjoyed it because it's a Netflix show, so you ain't getting no season 2.
well, I mean, listen, the way it ends in a way where if it doesn't get a renewal, it's fine. I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal to me if it doesn't get another season. Like, everything doesn't need to have multiple seasons either.
Yeah.
That's the way I kind of look at things now. As long as they give it an ending that satisfies me and kind of, gives it a nice ending and wraps it up to that part of the story, then yeah, that's fine. What pisses me off is when, a show ends on a cliffhanger and you don't get any closure out of it.
Yeah.
Like, the way that this ends, like, it can go on and it can end. It's just, it's up to them, I guess.
Those are the best endings, too.
Yeah.
When you can actually build off something.
Honestly,
if not, it's fine.
I mean, yeah, I would like to have more Night Agent, but, I mean, it was a good story, and I'm fine with it if it doesn't get another season or anything like that.
Right.
But, yeah, a solid watch, man. Solid watch. Is that on? Can we rank that on Letterboxd, or do they?
I typed in the Night Agent and nothing
it didn't
came
show up.
Certain shows you can, certain you can't.
Yeah,
That's
I think
what kind of throws me off.
If it's a limited series, I think you can.
And that's where I kind of forget on certain shows I watch too. If it's not on Letterboxd, I forgot.
It's weird how they do that. Like, why don't they just include shows?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's film centric, but I don't know. Maybe they should do another one separate where you can rank shows.
Well,
there's another site or app or whatever. I think it's called Serialized.
Yeah,
that I've seen people using it, and it's used for like TV shows.
Oh, that would be cool.
I don't know if it's quite as cool
because
as Letterboxd and all
the
that.
other show we're going to talk about, Beef, they have it on there. I was able to rank that, but Night Agent, that's what kind of throws me off.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Night Agent was like it could have been a movie, but they made a show and explored a little bit more of it, and that's fine. But it is very like Tom Clancy-esque, and like, man, it's the only thing missing from it is like Kiefer Sutherland or something like that.
Yeah, someone like that. Yeah,
but they did have a what's his face, Robert Patrick.
Yeah, Hawkins,
the old Terminator.
Hawkins,
yeah, he's in it for a little bit.
Director of the FBI was.
Yeah. So I mean, look, he was probably the most notable person in it.
Yeah,
but for a show that didn't really have star power or anything, like they really did a good job with it, and kept you invested in it. And I mean, the casting, they did do a good job. Yeah. There are some parts where the performances come across a little cheesy, but I mean, a big deal. I mean, you're not going to get absolute great performances out of everybody in every episode.
Well,
I mean,
it's more like, for me, it was like Peter Sutherland's character, because he's tries to be the perfect. The perfect soldier, the perfect this, and prove his worth, and
that's part of the storyline. Is his dad was an agent, and he goes down for some treason of some sort.
Well, yeah,
and he spends. Peter has a chip on his shoulder, trying to prove that his dad was innocent, and he kind of gets overlooked because his dad was a traitor, and somehow he makes it.
Yeah,
but excellent show. I mean, if you're bored and you love political thrillers, this is right up your alley. Like, if you're a Jack Reacher fan, like Robzilla said, or Tom Clancy, I mean, it's right up your alley.
It's closer to Tom Clancy, because Reacher's got more. It's more a lot more humor to it, I would assume. But
there's a couple things in here that make you chuckle, but I mean, other than that, it's pretty serious.
Yeah. Like the chief of staff, the woman was pretty funny on certain things. She's like, "Well, how about I rub your back? Then you can fuck off." She's pretty funny.
There are these two, like, I guess you would call them cleaners,
assassins or guns for hire. Basically.
Oh man, dude, they are fucking brutal,
ruthless,
brutal. Like, I mean, there's a scene where they kidnap this baby, and they pose as like parents to get into this place and assassinate somebody.
Yeah. Well, they play the story like they used to, like the woman used to live there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and they're brutal.
Like, oh, we're just reminiscing. She's like, oh, come in and look at that. I'm like, first of all, don't fucking tell people from the corner of your house to come inside and look at the house. Let's get something straight here. That's not gonna happen.
It's a really solid show, and I mean, if we were to grade it on a letterbox grade, the 5-star system, I'd probably go a 4 all the way.
I say 3.54.
Yeah, it's good, dude. It's good. And like I said, there was only like one episode where I was really not interested, but
and that's still even really not bad.
Yeah,
I mean, when you look at it,
it was solid, man. And there was a reason why it was number 1 on Netflix for a couple of weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
So great action, great acting for not having a whole lot of star power, like we said. But definitely check it out. And, even if you're not a political thriller fan, I think you would still find some sort of entertainment out of it. So,
even after watching this, I want to watch Peacemaker because of Robert Patrick. His best role ever.
It is his best role ever. Who would have thought that the Terminator would be a racist supervillain one day?
It's the white
Well, he was already a cop, so.
Oh, no.
Bazinga.
That was a burn if we've ever had one.
My God. Fucking ruthless.
There's a quote out there from James Cameron where he even said, like, there's a reason we made him a cop. It's because nobody likes cops or whatever. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you went there, James. Okay.
Nobody does like cops. I mean, that is for sure. All right, so moving along, we've got one last segment. We're going to close the show out with another Netflix show, believe it or not. Beef.
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
I love those fucking Wendy's commercials with Reggie Miller.
Oh yeah, where he's living in the Wendy's or whatever.
Yeah, what does he say? Like at the end of it, like something with beef though.
I can't remember.
I haven't. It's been a while since I've seen that.
I forget, but he's like beef, something like that, and I just like crack up every time I hear it. Like I'm like, have Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller.
So Beef is a Netflix series, and I'm pretty sure that from what I'm reading, this was supposed to just be one, limited series, but it's so fucking popular that I think they're going to try to talk them into doing more.
Yeah, I can see.
But Beef stars Steven Yeun from The Walking Dead. What was his character's name?
Glenn.
Glenn. Yeah, you may remember.
Poor Glenn.
Poor Glenn. God,
Glenn, who meets the ultimate demise from Negan, gets his head smashed in with a bat, but he's back in action. Beef, and he's starring in Beef alongside Ali Wong, comedian Ali Wong. But anyway, so it's about two people that, they're in a road rage incident, and they...
it spirals out of control.
It just spirals out of control, and they slowly consume their every thought and action into getting each other back and one-upping each other, and it is a crazy show. But this was just one where I watched one episode before I went to bed one night, on a work night. I was like, I got an hour to kill. Everybody's talking about the show. I guess I'll just watch it. And I watched it. I was like, damn, that was pretty good. And the way the first episode ends.
Well, you sent it to me too. And I was laughing my ass off on that.
Dude, I laughed my ass off on the last part of that. And I was like, what the fuck, man? That was fun, man. Yeah. That was a fun little episode. And, the next day I was like, man, I can't wait to get off work. I'm going to watch some Beef.
Right.
And I ended up getting dinner, and then I went, down, and I started watching Beef. And, man, I was just entertained. Before I know it, I had like 4 episodes down.
Yeah.
And I think that that was a Thursday. I ended up not seeing any Friday. Then I finished the rest of it off on a Saturday. And it was just like, it was a show I fired up when I was, I make my dinner and then I go down and watch TV.
Right.
And normally, I only watch one episode, then I move on to something else. And before I know it, it's like fucking midnight, and I'm like, oh, I got to wash my dishes from dinner. And but man, fucking entertaining, man. And I'm not an Ali Wong fan. I don't, for some reason, I just don't find her funny. I am a Steven Yeun fan, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I pronouncing that name right?
I think it's Steven Yeun. I think it's pronounced Yeun.
Yeah, it's Yeun.
Yeah.
So I'm pronouncing it right. Yeah. Yeah, I do love him. I've liked, what was the one movie he did where he was in the office and they get like a...
Mayhem.
Yeah, that was good.
That was really good.
He's a really good actor, man. And I hope he gets... Obviously, I mean, I think he's going to have more opportunities after this, especially maybe a season 2 of Beef.
Yeah. Possibly.
But I did read where the creator of Beef said that, it was only meant, for one. The story's kind of finished from, as far as he's considered.
Unless you want to do a similar story with different characters.
But man, what a crazy thing.
On Wikipedia, the director says he's got an idea for up to 3 seasons.
Wow.
Using the same characters. So
oh, wow.
If he's blessed with a season 2.
Dude.
See, what I read earlier, it said that they, he kind of said that it was only meant for 1 season. So, but I don't think they realized it would be this popular. So, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I'd imagine
Steven Yeun's a very popular guy.
I'd imagine as popular as it is, because I mean, we don't know any numbers yet because Netflix only shares that at their own leisure.
Yeah.
But if it's as popular as we're thinking it is, I gotta imagine they're going to at least get another season. But what Mr. PBS says. If he's got an idea for up to 3 seasons, then hey, they may give it to him.
Well, you can kind of go with season 2 and kind of like the aftermath of kind of what happens as well, and kind of takes it from there. So
I want to know what happens. The way it ends, you can just take it for what it is.
But then it's kind of like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah,
yeah. You're kind of like, well, what about this and this and this?
You're left with the feeling of wanting more.
Yeah,
like you want more out of it. But I mean, just to kind of give you an idea of this, this guy, Steven Yeun's character, is a hardworking, hustler.
Construction.
He's a handyman that just kind of does oddball jobs and even stuff he's not qualified for. He's like, I'll do it. Just, I need the money. I'll do it. And he's trying to save up money to buy his parents a house so they can come back to America.
Yep.
From Korea?
I think Vietnam.
Something like, yeah. I'm not really sure. But then Ali Wong.
It was Korea. Yeah, because he's Korean.
Ali Wong's character is very successful. She owns like
it's like
a plant business.
Business and floral. Yeah.
Yeah, some kind of luxury plant that people have in their houses that she specially does and all that. And she's working on a deal to sell this company for like $10 million. So, and I mean, she's part of this road rage incident where it's kind of on the web and like forums, and people are trying to figure out who's responsible for it.
Well, it's caught on like a door cam, like on the house, because they cut through like a yard.
And she's in the, she doesn't want this to come out because she's trying to work on sealing this deal. But I mean, it just goes from one crazy thing to the next.
It's outrageous.
They end up finding out who they are, and then they go after each other, and they're constantly doing stuff. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there's one part where he's like friends with her husband, but
Zane.
Yeah, he tells his husband a fake name, and they're like best buds.
Well, and her daughter is pretty funny too.
Yeah,
there's an incident with her daughter a couple of times, and it's pretty fucking funny.
It is a really good show. A really good show. But I mean, the situations that they put themselves in were very hilarious, very cool. It was just very entertaining, and it was I don't know if you want to say it's like a fresh how do I want to phrase this? Like a fresh show, something that's kind of new and so you haven't really seen before in TV.
Not really on that extent of like something where you take a little slight road rage incident and twist it to where it's so outrageous.
But it was just different.
Yeah.
It was different, and I thought it was fresh for me, like, I mean, obviously, it's a predominantly Asian cast, but it was really good. It was well produced, well written. And, is it the best show ever? No, absolutely not.
But it's very entertaining. If you want something new and different,
it gets you hooked, and you want to, when you start it, you want to finish it.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you're in the finale.
Yeah.
And then it did have, what's his face? Who's the red-headed comedian?
Hold on. It's Michael something, but he does the podcast with Bobby Lee.
Yeah, dude is hilarious. He was in the finale.
It's not his character's Michael. Andrew Santino is his name.
Yeah, Andrew Santino. He's right here. He's in 4 episodes actually.
Yeah,
the highlight for him was the finale. Man.
Yeah.
He was fucking hilarious in that finale.
See, like I loved, like he's like kind of like the villain of the story, but Isaac, David Chow. Like there's a scene where in Vegas where they're chasing someone. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, David Chow is great.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because these characters just take complete 180s.
Yeah.
And, I mean, even like you want to root for Steven Yeun's character, but he does some fucked up shit, and you're like, man, this dude needs to fucking pay for some of the shit he's doing.
And that's exactly right. You see glimpses of like they're changing. They do a 180. They're like, wow, this guy's a piece of shit. Like he kind of deserves what he's getting.
And then it's kind of like you see. Like Ali Wong's character, at first you're like, man, what a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
And then you kind of feel for her after a while, this lady's working her ass off and she just wants to chill out,
Yeah.
But
spit on.
Dude, the scene there's a scene where she's like masturbating with a gun. Like she's firing the gun off, like the gun's empty, but she's like firing it.
It's the click.
Yeah, she's click. She's pulling the trigger, and every time that trigger goes off, she's like, ah, and you're just cracking the fuck up watching her do it.
Yeah,
but
her husband's pretty funny too. You know why?
Yeah, and that's another. I mean, he's Joseph Lee.
George.
George. He plays her husband George, and for those of you who don't know who Joseph Lee is, he's actually in 10 episodes of Picard. Let's see what else he's in. He's in that new movie, or Searching. Why was I thinking he's in something else? That's not him, though. You'll recognize him. He plays in a lot of shows. So if you're a big show watcher, you'll recognize George. He doesn't have many credits, though. It doesn't look like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not familiar with him. Like, and
I recognized him from Picard and something else. I can't. Let's see here. Maybe it's just Picard I recognized him from.
Yeah, it says Star Trek Picard, Beef, Past My Bedtime,
Miracle That We Met.
Miracle That We Met, Searching, NCIS.
Maybe I've seen him. I can't remember if I've seen Searching. For some reason, that sounds familiar. Yes, I've seen Searching. I've seen a couple episodes of this one.
And was that a show as well?
Or that's a movie. Sorry, movie. I saw a little bit of that.
I didn't watch that one.
2018. Yeah, that's got our boy John Cho in it.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah,
I believe we've lost Mike on the video.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Okay.
It just did that thing again where it muted the mic, like it did with hot sauce.
Yeah.
I think we still heard it on the recording anyway, though.
Yeah. I've been adding I'm going to start adding the actual audio to this. But anyways, Beef is a fucking hilarious show. I guarantee you'll be entertained by it. Hopefully you'll be entertained by it. But definitely check it out. I mean, it is good. There's a reason why everybody's talking about it. So if, there's a night where you and Mrs. PBS are like, what should we watch? Fire up Netflix. Watch Beef. Do you have Netflix?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? What do you mean fucking sometimes?
I don't keep Netflix around.
Dude, what is your problem?
It's there when I need it and gone when I don't.
At this point,
the streaming services, it's my side chick.
Yeah. Is that your side bitch?
Yeah, it's my side chick.
So I hear Netflix is getting ready to push down that password sharing, by the way.
Yeah, they can get fucked.
Yeah, fuck them. I wonder how many people will cancel and if they'll revert back to.
I mean, at this point, you just have to pick and choose of what's most value of your money.
And how many people out there have had Netflix since day one and haven't canceled it?
Right.
Lazy people.
Yeah.
Me in particular. I just don't want to fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I do watch it every week, so. Yeah. But there's so many options out there. I'm having a hard time catching up on everything. So what's the point?
Well, Netflix was the big one. So like you said, there's so many options now. What's the point of having Netflix when you just want to cancel it and then just binge watch one of the show, like the shows you want to watch, like Stranger Things or whatever that is going to come out, and then just get rid of after a month.
Yeah, dude. It amazes me that, they're struggling to get people to subscribe all of a sudden, and they want to make a thing that alienates people from wanting to subscribe. So it's just, I don't know. Who runs these? Who's running these companies? Who's putting these great ideas out and thinking, oh, we're going to get revenue out of this?
Morons.
I mean, they're to the point where that's the only thing they can do. Let's raise prices.
Do they not know that pirates are out there and people rip these shows off and put them on, whatever services, and people just get rigged Amazon sticks and, that's how they view most of these shows?
Jailbroken.
I mean,
you got to think.
It's like they're so disconnected.
It's the model for Netflix was that they used to be like the one and only. Yeah. They had everything. But now you can only get so many people subscribers.
Yeah.
Let's just imagine you get all the subscribers in the world that you're ever going to get. And that's all you're going to get. You're not going to get any more money out of them unless you up prices. And that's why I think a lot of those other ones are going back to like film distribution and stuff. Like think about it like, I always think about like Interstellar. Imagine if Interstellar came out today and it was like an HBO Max exclusive. So we pay, $15 or whatever, and we watch it once. Maybe we watch it 5 times. Maybe we watch it 10 times. But for that one price, we watched that movie and we watched HBO Max the rest of the month. Now, in real life, what happened is I went to saw it, so they got my $15. And then the next night, I said, hey, we need to go see this. And then me and you saw it, so they got another 15 out of me and 15 out of you. And then we went and saw it in the theater again, and they got another 15 out of you and another 15 out of me. So instead of HBO Max, where maybe only one of us had it and we watched it all together, and they got $15 out of all of us, they just got like $60 out of us for one movie that we saw 3 times. And you know, a lot of these companies, like even Apple's spending like $1 billion now to go get theatricals out. Amazon has theatricals out with Air that's getting pretty good reviews. So I think they're starting to slowly figure out, like, oh, we need to, the streaming model alone isn't going to cut it for money.
I think they just need to advertise the homepage. Put Burger King or McDonald's on it and Pepsi.
And that's what they're going to ads too. That's not out of the question.
Like, there has to be a way they can make money and a way we can be entertained at the same time without being forced to watch fucking 8 ads before in the middle of something.
I mean, that's like, you're like, how did we used to make money all this? Oh yeah, we played commercials 4 or 5 times during the show, and that's how we made money from the advertisers.
There's got to be a way to satisfy everybody. I mean, there is a sweet spot in all this.
I don't like. I've started watching some stuff on Tubi here and there. And
Tubi's
even like Paramount, like when they have some ads in it, like the ads come up, I pick up my phone for 30 seconds or a minute, like, oh, it's back on, throw my phone down, and I'm back to the show. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more ads and kind of commercials coming back to these kinds of shows.
And Tubi has some hidden gems, and plus it's free.
Well, so to get back to Beef, we said it was available to rate on Letterboxd, and I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
I think
Madman.
I think I had a 3.5 before I rated it.
I really enjoyed it. I had
really
fun
good.
watching it, and it entertained me. It excelled my expectations. So,
I wasn't actually sure. I wasn't sure first if it was a movie or a series. 'Cause I remember seeing some ads for it.
I said I want to start Beef. You're like, oh, it's a movie. I said, no, it's a series.
I thought it was a movie.
I was like, yeah,
I thought it was a movie too.
The way they advertised it, it seemed like it was a movie.
I did too, and I turned it. I was like, let's see how long it is, and I was like, oh, 10 episodes. Oh, I didn't know that.
I just had fun watching it, man. It was just really fun for me, and I enjoyed it.
And they picked fantastic soundtrack for songs.
That's another thing. Yeah, every episode ended with like a great song.
Like one was like The Reason for the first episode. One was Drive from Incubus, was a fucking phenomenal. Stephen Yeun played.
Yeah, he did a good job singing that.
Yeah, there was a duet on TikTok with Brandon Boyd.
A lot of people are asking that they need to record that and put it out on like Spotify or whatever.
And I had to listen to it afterwards. It's such a fucking great album from Incubus.
Yeah, that you could tell whoever made that was heavily influenced by like 90s.
Yeah, exactly.
So, by the 90s. 90s
babies.
But man, I just really had fun watching it, and I'm highly recommending that anybody and everybody watch it. So, unless you don't like Asian people, then
you bigot.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't watch it.
You're a bigot.
You're a bigot, exactly. Bigot. Are you a bigot, Rob?
Are you a bigot or are you a racist? There's a difference.
Is there
I don't care.
I mean,
I guess there is. I don't know.
I think one goes hand in hand with each other. What do you think, Mr. PBS?
I'm uneducated on the issue.
I
assume.
comment.
I guess I kind of assume if you're one, you're the other, sort of.
I think they kind of go hand in hand with each other.
It's whatever. I just don't care. I just don't like people in general. I don't fucking care.
I just want to watch good shit.
Yeah, I just don't want it to suck. Am I asking for much?
I just want to be entertained. I don't really care about race, religion, or creed.
Well, Maximus was not entertained. Mr. PBS doesn't know.
I don't get that reference at all.
I know he doesn't.
I was highly entertained with The Night Agent and Beef. So check them out. Let us know.
And if you don't like it, bring the beef to Sleazy.
Yes, bring the beef to me. If you thought I'm a piece of shit for giving it a 4.5, let me know.
Bring the beef, bitch.
But that's all we have for episode 156 of the Sleazy Podcast. La Sleazy Podcast.
Le Sleazy Podcast.
La Sleazy
Podcast.
We should find somebody to like record us an intro like that.
We the podcast. You listen, okay?
Telemundo. La Sleazy Podcast.
We'll be on the El Rey Network.
That'd be cool, dude. I'd fucking love that.
Produced by Robert Rodriguez.
Some soap opera music to open the show up with. Okay, so that's all we have for you for episode 156. Hey, if you get a chance, for those of you that listen, please give us a rating on whatever you're listening to us on, give us 5 stars. 5 stars.
You know, I think we need to try a new tact. We need to tell people don't listen. Like don't rate us, don't like, don't subscribe. F you. Don't tell anybody about us. Do what we tell you and don't say shit. Keep it to yourself.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I think it's a little reverse psychology. Like don't you press that like button? Don't you fucking do it?
You think they'll actually do it then?
Yeah, I'll fucking show you. Don't tell me what to do.
But hey, man, thank you for listening.
You're all garbage and you don't deserve this show.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
But like I said before, thanks for listening. But my call to action, as always, share the show. We want people to listen. We're glad that you are listening. So just, share the show with somebody that you think would like it. And even if you don't think they would like it, just tell them to fucking listen.
Listen to it at work. Listen to it when you're walking out in public.
Listen to it while you're pooping.
At really loud volumes. Listen to it while you're pooping in the bathroom
to the
at work.
shower.
Yeah.
Or when you're playing with a gun and pulling the trigger repeatedly.
When you're killing people with a samurai sword, listen to it.
Because there can be only one, and that's the only one podcast.
If you're driving a motorcycle, you got to listen to it really loud so everybody around you hears it while you're driving.
I'll forever love that laugh.
Brings me joy.
I want you to play that at my funeral.
It does. I could be having the worst day, and I fucking hear this. And it just cheers me the fuck up.
What cheers me is like, hey, buddy. I'm like, Jason, thank you.
But anyways, that's all we have. And remember, be kind, rewind, and keep it sleazy.
Thanks for listening to the Sleazy Podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and remember, listen to Sleazy.